Now I come to a thing probably known to all Americans. It's interesting how here it was ignored. Probably it's already dying out in the States. You remember the last days of December, the nationalist rightist Steve Cortes, not my kind of a guy, tweeted a photo of AOC, Alessandria Ocasio-Cortez, her boyfriend, Riley Roberts, how they are enjoying their Christmas break in Florida. And his comment was, her guy is showing his gross, pale male feet in public, not at the pool or beach with hideous sandals. That was his comment. Now, AOC quipped back on the last day of the last year, on December 31st. I quote her, if Republicans are mad, they can't date me, they can just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet. You creepy end of quote. Now, as one can expect, her reply triggered mixed reactions. One user responded, and I think there is a moment of truth in it. Reactionary, of course.
I agree.
Bold move. When people disagree with my policy positions or call me a hypocrite, I tell them they just want to fuck me as well. End of quote. Then another responded, this is more tricky. Another, probably Republican conservative, there is a moment of truth. Why did your mind automatically go to dating you and sex? That's very conceited. End of quote. I think at some level, we must admit it. This is true. It was AOC who brought sex into a situation which was at least explicitly not sexualized, reading Republican attacks on her policy positions as the expression of their frustration that they cannot date her. And incidentally, now comes my first comment. I need your open reaction here.
Okay.
I think that even if he may be right, I think she is an attractive woman, so fuck it. We are made of red flesh. We have desires. I think her reasoning was not correct. Don't you agree that there is another more probable version? I try to imagine it. Her Republican critics primarily disagree with her policies. But as most of men, they notice her sexual attractiveness. So they implicitly, at least, bring in sexuality to devalue her argumentation in accordance with the standard male chauvinist wisdom that women are stupid. Something like, stick to sex. You are nice there, avoid argumentation which is beyond your league. So I think it's not that behind political disagreement it's sex. I would like to screw her. I cannot get a chance.
It's behind the sex. There's political disagreement.
Yeah. What do you think? Please, I'm open here. It's not again.
No, I think there's probably some truth to that. I think that I would say that I do. I mean, look, I think that there's a reason why, and I definitely have some criticisms of AOC. We'll get into that, but I also do think the reason why so many people who disagree with her fixate on her. I mean, why aren't they talking about Rashida Tlaib, or why aren't they talking about other people who have all the same positions that she has? I think part of it is that I think a sexual fixation probably is part of it. I mean, that seems realistic to me. That said, I do agree with you, right? That probably that probably a lot of it is that she's a prominent figure. They hate her politics. This is something they reach for, to respond to that. And I'm not sure how serious she was about the thing about her boyfriend's feet. I think that it was
I have another problem with her. I agree with you. The enigma is, did she make this move towards sex in an ironic way, kind of a political PR manipulation, or did she really think what she wrote sincerely? My answer is she was just faking it, because if she really meant it, she's in trouble. I
think she might have thought that there's a germ of truth, but she's also having fun with it. That, like, in other words, like, she might think that in general there is something a little bit, sexual about Republicans' fixation with her, and so that's like what she's riffing off of for the joke. But she also, but that, and like, because the feet thing is a little bit too perfect as a setup.
I will go to that. That's the true mystery. Yes. What I find problematic is that, again, she brought sex into it. And that's always a dangerous move, because one of the Republicans answered her very brutally. Sorry, AOC, I absolutely don't want to date you. Now, what could she have answered to this? Now, deep in your unconscious, you want to really, or whatever. But now, when you came to the crucial point, this Riley's foot, really, I saw the photo, you can get it, really protrudes, sticks out a little bit excessively in the photo, which was tweeted, kind of a reference to foot fetishism. But here, I find things nicely ambiguous. Cortez, not she, Cortez, that Steve, the bad guy, the Republican, who made this move from AOC to Riley's foot. She didn't notice her. She noticed his foot protruding. Should have made AOC mad for another unexpected reason. I like this cynical, manipulative reasoning. I hope it was her. That she was really mad at him for not focusing on her beauty. She sees me there, and look at what the guy thinks, that stupid food there. The attraction of the implicit sense of her surprise why the food could be, I'm the real beauty if in the image. So why do you even mention that stupid naked foot of my lover, and so on and so on? And I think this, I would focus on this. This is very suspicious, how the guy, all of a sudden, obviously talking about sex, goes to the image. But I agree with you, it is part of my non-politically correct stance that I absolutely don't disagree with such gentle manipulations and so on and so on. I'm just saying you have to be a little bit careful, because you never know. I wonder, do you know, were there or not some politically correct reactions to her? I haven't followed it so much in depth.
What do you mean by that? Like, what kind
of reactions? It means some critical comments towards her also.
Oh, not that I've
this incident.
Not that I've seen. Like nobody was trying to say that she was kink shaming this Republican for for loving her boyfriend's feet. No, I haven't
about this data, but generally about that incident. She was not criticized because, again, I will put it like this: in a normal society, without this twisted political correctness, such a reaction as hers would have been normal, I think. Nice. Of course, you include this type of irony and so on. And there is a great tradition of these dirty jokes, even nicely made in American politics. I think I didn't use this one with you. You remember, no, you're too young maybe, when Edward Kennedy, Ted, the last one, before he died, he was very promiscuous, sexually active. So his position was, of course, at that point, 20, 30 years ago, already more or less ecological. For example, he was strictly opposed to offshore drilling in Louisiana.
Yes.
You know the story for oil, deep sea oil, no?
Okay.
You know what then happened? He was caught by a paparazzo on camera, sitting on a boat outside New Orleans in deep water, screwing the lady, unambiguously. He lying on her legs around him. A couple of days later, he had an appearance in Senate. And in a reaction, you know what a Republican said? I laughed. It was a Republican senator said, "I'm glad to hear that our esteemed colleague has changed his position of offshore
drilling."
Sorry, I mean, don't you think in a normal society this should be possible?
You have been watching free public content from Give Them an Argument. To access every single episode of the show, the main show on Monday nights, all of the streams, all of the debate breakdowns, all of the patron-exclusive post-games on Monday nights, all of the patron-exclusive bonus episodes every week, and much, much more, go to patreon.com/Ben Burgis. I cannot resist ending this with, don't be foolish.